Welcome to Blissful Transformations, and today we're going to make kombucha, and it's really easy to make. So what we're going to do is we have some organic green tea. There's around 4 tablespoons here. We have 3/4 of a cup of organic sugar, and in here I've got 1 liter of filtered water, and I'll put another liter in at the end. So I'm just going to put all my ingredients into my pot, and then we will simmer it, bring it to a boil, make sure that the sugar has been broken down, and then turn it off, and that's when I'll add my other liter so that it will actually cool all the ingredients down really quickly, and then I can add it into my pot. I have my tea mixture, and I'm just going to filter it because I've got loose tea leaves in here. Okay. And you can see that it's really dark, and it does have 3/4 of a cup of sugar in there, but the fermentation process will reduce it down. You don't want to drink it when it is sweet. You want to drink it when it has a little bit of bubbles in it and is a bit more like vinegar, and then you know that it's just right. What you're actually seeing in here is the SCOBY, and SCOBY is also called a mushroom, and it is a symbiotic culture of friendly bacteria and yeast. So symbiotic meaning that they're living together, and the SCOBY will actually continue to grow and feed off the tea mixture with the sugar and fill the entire pot. I'm going to lift the SCOBY up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So if I just reach in, I do have clean hands, and you can see that it's quite rubbery, and it's very thick, and it will continue to grow in thickness as it feeds off the sugar. And on the bottom was the last piece of SCOBY that I actually cut. This sits on the bottom, and it forms a new SCOBY, or a new mushroom, on top, and the new one has taken up the whole width of the pot. And I'm going to start again with the process. So once again I'm going to cut a bit off, and that will be my new SCOBY that's going to go into my pot with the remaining liquid that's in here, and the new liquid that I've actually put together. And that's going to feed and grow and ferment, and when it does that, what it's doing is creating an amazing array of organic acids which help the liver with the detoxification process and many other things within the body. And it also breeds vitamin B's, vitamin C. It has a range of enzymes which are important and essential for your body, and it really is such a beneficial and easy beverage to make. You can buy SCOBYs. You can get them from people who have kombucha, because they're happy to give them away, because once I've actually, I'm going to cut this up and make it small again, so I'll end up putting a piece this size back in the pot, and the rest of it I'll either give away, or I often save some SCOBY with some of the liquid in a jar, so that if I have any issues with what I'm growing, I can always restart again. But sometimes if you come across a drink of kombucha in a shop that's just straight kombucha, if you have a look in the bottom of the jar, sometimes there's actually a little SCOBY already starting to grow. And you can grow kombucha and SCOBYs from the drinks that you buy, and in fact my son has done that many times. So every time I refill my pot, I actually clean it out and rinse the SCOBY as well. I don't have town water, which means I don't have fluoride and I don't have chlorine within my water, so I can use my water quite easily and it does well. The other thing about the pot is that this is actually a clay pot. You don't want to use plastic pots, you don't want to use metal in it where the tap is. You don't want the tap to be metal and touching the SCOBY because that can interfere with it. So I've just cut off quickly a piece of SCOBY, and this will be enough to regrow some more from. The rest I'll break up and I'll save and I'll put into my compost. And I'm just going to pour the tea in. And it's ready to start again. What I like to do with my kombucha is actually make a beverage from it, and I like to have daily just a small amount, because even though it has a lot of health benefits, you can have too much of a good thing. So in here I actually have, I've made a tea with chamomile and rose, and I've juiced some apples, and I've put a bit of kombucha into it, and it's something that I like to have daily. I also like lemon and ginger in the kombucha, and the kombucha actually, it ferments, so it does have a little bit of a bubbly effect in it, which is really nice, so it's very refreshing. What we're actually doing is fermenting and creating healthy bacteria here. We could call them microorganisms, and if we were to consider the health of our digestive system, which is why this is fantastic for it, within the colon alone we have 10 times the amount of bacteria in our colon that we do have cells, and we have approximately 50 trillion cells within the body, and we have 10 times that amount in bacteria. The bacteria in our colon, they help create vitamin K, they help create some B vitamins, and when they die off they actually create the stool, a large portion of the stool. So this is why the kombucha is really beneficial for those with digestive issues or constipation, bloating, as long as they have a healthy diet, of course. You want your kombucha to be covered so that it can actually breathe. A bit of muslin is actually really good. I just use this because it's a bit thicker, because I actually live in a house that's made out of mud, so there's really fine particles that fall down sometimes, and I just try and protect it from that. And of course, because it's fermenting and it can smell quite sweet, and it will attract different insects if you like to keep your windows open like I do. So, and then it's done, and it's easy. Making kombucha is very easy to do, and let me know how you go, and remember to listen to your heart and follow your bliss.